I would say that the war escalates through a failure to contain what should have been a regional crisis in Bohemia, and it escalates because none of the parties that are involved feel that they can back down. They feel that they have to be strong, but in fact they are all relatively weak. They're not actually prepared for war, and they lack resources, especially money, and so they rely on assistance that comes from outside. And the parties that are seeking to assist them all have their own agendas, and this makes the problem, the initial problem, much more complicated and much more difficult to resolve. And every time it seems like a solution, then another party will help reignite the war. I don't think that religion is just simply an excuse for war. I think we need to, when we're trying to understand the situation in the 17th century, we have to free ourselves from our contemporary distinctions that we make between religious and secular aspects of life. This was inconceivable in the 17th century, that no one could imagine a universe without God. So everyone, to an extent, is religious. But the key thing is that their attitudes to religion and the role of religion in life differs. But to give some figures that will give something of an indication, so if we take the Austrian Habsburg monarchy that had an ordinary revenue of maybe 5 million florins, at least 4 million of those are spent on paying for past debts. The Habsburgs are basically bankrupt. They have at least 30 million in debt, and then the rest of the money is spent largely on providing for the defense of Hungary against the Turks. There is always a risk that the Ottoman Empire will attack. So they maybe have 1 million at best left over. The imperial army, once the army is fully mobilized, costs 12 million a year. It is impossible to disentangle dynastic, religious, and political motives, and so the Spanish monarchy see these as really all part of the same continuum. I mean, the main goal that Spain is pursuing in the empire is to end this war as quickly as possible, because what they want is the Austrian Habsburgs, their cousins, to come and assist them primarily against the Dutch rebels. There are certainly important military developments at the time, but I think that they have been misunderstood by much of conventional military history, which sees developments moving in a single line. The war is genuinely terrible. Probably the empire's population declines by about a fifth. This would be, across the 30 years, 5 million dead, with a pre-war population of 23 million or so. Other people leave. So if we compare that with the Second World War, the Soviet Union in the Second World War had the highest proportional losses. They were around 12% of the population. So 20% is an enormous loss. And yes, that took place across 30 years, but we are talking about a pre-industrial society where it is much more difficult to replace the missing human labor with machinery.